Today, I'm going to give you 3 things as a leader you need to stop saying.
You're listening to Touch the Line Podcast.
3 things you need to stop saying as a leader. We're going to dive right into these. This is going to be a short podcast episode, but the first one is this hit me between the eyes the first time I heard it, because I hear so many people say this, is I just tell it like it is. I'm blunt. You know where you stand with me. I tell it like it is. Honestly, this is, as a leader, one of the worst things to say, because when I say I tell it like it is, basically what I'm saying is, I don't care what you think. I'm going to say what I want to say, and it benefits me. In servant leadership, we want to serve our team. And this is in friends, with family. You don't want to tell it like it is. Now, you still want to say things and get your point across, but you want to say it in the best way for the person to receive it. So when we tell it like it is, it comes across very blunt and very aggressive, and we feel great about it, but the person receiving it shuts down and they're like, you're a jerk. And when you're a jerk, you lose respect. And when you don't have any respect, then you don't have a team. Therefore, you're not a leader. So telling it like it is. Let me give you an example of how this hit me in the face. We had a front desk person a couple of years ago. She was great, and she came in every day on time, had everything set up before the guests got there. And then all of a sudden, she started coming in, not late, but like right on time as soon as we opened, which was technically late. This happened 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. So I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. I'm going to tell her like it is. So you see where this is going. So I was like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? Go in the office. I said, hey, you've been coming in late for the past 3 or 4 days. I can't remember how many days. It's unacceptable. I need you to start coming in on time. She says, yes, you are correct. I have 2 children. One of them just started daycare and the other one's in school. And I'm trying to figure out how to drop them off so I can be here at the time you need me to be, because one of the daycares or the school didn't open in time for her to get there in time to work at the salon. So I put my foot in my mouth. I just stopped and I said, hey, I want to apologize. I led this conversation the wrong way. I should have led this conversation as, hey, I've seen you've been coming in late the past couple of days. What's going on? And she would have told me, and I would have totally have understood that. But I had this pride, and I was like, I'm going to tell her like it is. And I went in there and I told her like it was, and it blew up in my face. And if I didn't apologize, I gained that equity back. If I didn't apologize, she would have left going, Evan is very inconsiderate. He doesn't even know what's going on in my life. All he cares about is me being here on time. Now, I do care about people being at work on time. That is a high value in our company. Our vision for our staff is for them to win at home so they can win at work. And so I have to connect with them on winning at home. And in hindsight, she wasn't winning at home because she couldn't figure out when to drop off the kids so she could be at work at the right time. So that was a stressful time in her life. So that was a great way for me to apologize, to connect with her. So I realized right then, I need to stop telling it like it is. Say it best for how the person receives it. Number 2 of what we don't need to do is we don't need to say, well, we've done that before, or this is the way we've always done it. There are times where people in our company come up and say, hey, how about if we do X, Y, and Z? And I want to say, yeah, we've done that before. It doesn't work. Or this is how we've always done it. What that does is that crushes creativity in your company. People are not going to want to come forward with ideas and they don't want to brainstorm. So if someone came to me and said, hey, what if we did X and we've already done that? I might say, hey, we've done that in the past. This is what won. Here are the things that why we took it away, because we couldn't figure out this. Do you have a solution for this? Let's brainstorm. Let's sit down. Let's carve out 15 minutes for us to get together and think about this. Or if this is the way we've always done it, then I always tell new staff, hey, I'm going to connect with you in 2 weeks because you have fresh eyes on our company and our system. And I want you to point out things of, hey, why do you do X? Why do you do this? Why do you talk to the guests this way? Why do you have this? That's a great way to empower your new staff to, hey, your voice matters around here. And it's also there to help us as leaders of like, especially if they came from another company, even if they came from somewhere that's not in the industry you're in, that's where I've learned a lot of our stuff. We have a Staff Hub page and app that we use that has all the information the staff will ever need. And everything is on this Staff Hub. The reason I created that is because the organization, New Spring Church, I worked for before, they had that for their staff. So if they're coming from outside the industry, I want to know, hey, at the last place you worked, what worked? What didn't work? Because that's something that we could use in our company to serve you and serve our company better. So you don't want to say, hey, we've been there before, we've done that, or that's the way we've always done it. That's going to crush your creativity. It's going to crush your culture. Last one. Now, this has an asterisk beside it. You're doing a great job. That's something you don't really want to say. Now, you do want to come out with that positivity, but you want to be very specific in what they're doing a great job at. Short story, my friend Joe, who works at New Spring Church, he does lighting. And people would come up to him all the time and say, hey man, lighting looked great. Lighting looked great. He was just like, okay, yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. But when you got very detailed and specific, I told him one day, I was like, man, the lights on that bridge where it like went down and then came back up real quick. I was like, man, that was beautiful. So when you're very specific in how you praise someone, hey, great job on handling that upset guest today. You did a great job navigating through that conversation, or thank you for how you treated that guest today and how you went above and beyond. So be very specific. You know, hey, thank you for being on time because I know you have a newborn and you're coming back from maternity leave and it's really crazy right now. Thank you for being on time and making that a priority. So be very specific in when you praise people. I can get in the rut and be like, hey, we appreciate you. You're doing a great job. Those are good things, but make them very specific. Here's something that Andy Stanley says. Praise what you want repeated. So what you want repeated in your company, you need to praise that. So when you're saying, hey, you're doing a great job, be very specific, because when you're very specific, they know that, people know that, and then you're going to want to praise that. So they know, oh, how I handled that upset guest, that was a win. And so you want to praise that. So next time you have an upset guest, they're repeating that. So hopefully these 3 tips, quit saying, hey, I tell it like it is. Say it the best way for the person to receive it. Don't say, hey, we've done that before, or this is the way we've always done it. It's going to squash your creativity. And then tell people, hey, you're doing a great job at, be very specific. And tell them, hey, we appreciate you and all the hard work you do for our company, for our family, for our group of friends, whatever that is. So hopefully these 3 tips have helped you. I would love for you to DM me, or if you see this on Instagram, post down below which one stood out to you most. And again, always thank you so much for listening to Touch the Line podcast.